सरफरोशी की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है।
जिंदाबाद 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 एसएफआई जिंदाबाद 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 तो लड़ेंगे जीतेंगे जय जिंदाबाद 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 एसएफआई जिंदाबाद 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 जिंदाबाद
सरफरोशी की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है।
Good evening, friends and comrades. Now we are officially starting today's session. First of all, I thank everybody who came together today, irrespective of what are the conditions we are facing, and especially climatic conditions and our work situation as well. Thank you for gathering to celebrate this significant milestone in our foundation. Established in 1970, the Students' Federation of India has played an active role in Indian political history for over 54 years. We proudly stand as an independent mass organization for students. As our slogan states, study and struggle. The journey has never been easy. Nevertheless, we have worked tirelessly at the grassroots level to mobilize a substantial portion of the student community. We can proudly say that the SFI has been part of the progressive student struggle throughout the history. Comrade Abhimanyu, one of our martyrs, bravely stood against communal fundamentalists, declaring, "Down with the communalism," a message that resonated on campuses across India. He once stated, "If I seek individual benefits, I wouldn't join in this organization." These words embody the spirit of comradeship. In this era of capitalism, individuals are often reduced to mere tools in the pursuit of corporate goals, viewing one another as competitors. We must remember those who ignited the sparks of our movement by prioritizing our collective goals over personal gain. Our comrades in India continue to struggle against the current undeclared political emergency. The Modi government's day-to-day policy decisions undermine students by cutting fellowships and implementing unfair education policies, making education accessible only to privileged sections of society. Additionally, There is a troubling trend of saffronizing university campuses through biased approaches, creating significant barriers to education. These issues not only threaten the current social system but also severely impact our knowledge system on a large scale. The rising unemployment and lack of support for the youth create a situation where the idea of dignified livelihood feels unattainable. This is a major reason many of us are migrated here. Regarding our efforts in the UK, SFI UK marks the first ever unit that SFI has established abroad. SFI London is still in its early stages but has already begun addressing crucial issues faced by students, such as mass failure, visa sponsorship, etc. In addition to these educational concerns, SFA also tackles various non-educational issues such as housing. Our comrades in London have gathered over 200 membership, engaging with the students, more than our 200 membership, engaging with the students and contributing to broader struggles. My fellow comrades here can offer valuable insights into our efforts in the UK. In conclusion, I would like to emphasize that whether in India or abroad, the SFI remains committed to the ideology of study and struggle to ensure proper education for all. By this, I invite all of the comrades gathered here to this event, and I invite Comrade Nupur, Vice President SFI UK, to inaugurate this event. That's it.
Thank you, Comrade. So I would like to begin a little bit by talking about the history of the organization and why we are here today. The Students' Federation of India was formed at its first conference, which was held in Trivandrum in December 1970. The formation of this student organization was necessitated by a number of ideological factors. Firstly, the fact that the All India Students' Federation, the AISF, which was the premier organization of students in the anti-imperialist freedom struggle, had declined and become a reformist organization which did not firmly take on the Congress government and its neoliberal policies. The late 1960s was also a period where internationally the student movement arose and was radicalized by US aggression and the war against Vietnam. In the US, in Europe, in Japan, and other countries, left-wing student movements grew and militant protests were conducted. The May 1968 student revolt in Paris shook the French government, especially when the working class joined the struggle. Within India as well, there was growing discontent against the Congress government from the mid-1960s. Price rises, food shortages, and corruption were problems which affected students as well. Many militant struggles by students erupted in various cities. From the beginning, our struggle as students has been inextricably linked with the struggle of the working and oppressed people. The SFI began with a membership of 1.24 lakhs in 1970, and by the third conference at Patna in 1979, our membership was 4.12 lakhs. This was an advance, and behind this was steady organizational growth and steady organizational labor in many new cities and states. Because of its tenacious work, the SFI retained its link with the student and continued its mass activities. It carries forward the heritage of the progressive student movement of our country, which has always considered itself an inseparable part of the broader struggle for social transformation. It is this legacy that the Students' Federation of India holds aloft in its slogan of independence, democracy, and socialism. Since its inception, the SFI has been amidst the struggles for student rights and for a better education system on one hand, and broader ideological struggles on the other. But it is our legacy to guide the student movement to the right direction in the present. Our comrades in India continue to fight against fascism and have emerged victorious in various places such as Pondicherry University, where our front won the entire Student Council panel this year. The SFI has always been in struggles to achieve these objectives, whether it's attacks against the education system or attacks on the integrity of the nation. Our brave soldiers are forefront in the struggles. As my comrade before mentioned, our history is the history of sacrifices. It is only SFI whose leaders are martyred in struggles of students in independent India. And still, we dare to call upon our enemy after each sacrifice. You can kill our comrades, but you can't kill our ideas. But a lot has to do in response to the changing character of higher education, as well as the political and economic realities which concern Indian students studying abroad. The attack on public education and the dwindling employment opportunities in India have led to a number of students opting to study in other countries, such as the UK. As international students from the global south, this section faces unique issues based on immigration status, housing needs, and racial discrimination. Indian students are also viewed as a cheap labor source and often have to enter into exploitative oral contracts with very little legal protection. The SFI UK aims to mobilize around these specific issues and seek solutions to them in pursuance of its fight against the commercialization of education and the exploitation of students.
Thank you, Comrade Nuku. Now I invite Comrade Hasib Beg, Indian Workers Association, Great Britain President, to address this matter.
Friends, thanks for working. It's not often that I'm lost for words or have to resort to these devices. But just for the beginning of this, I'm compelled to do so. Because all these young people, they use the devices as they're glued to their hands, they don't even drop it. And I'm always afraid I'm going to drop it. Because I'm reminded of an inspiration quote I saw yesterday whilst I was looking, thinking, what am I going to say here? At the start of Founders Day of Student Federation of India. And I don't know if it's saying Founders Day or Student Federation of India UK. But there's a poet from here. I know there's poets and people who are very learned would know about him, Shelley. When he said, "Rise like lions after slumber. Rise like lions after slumber in unvanquishable number. Shake your chains to earth like dew, which in sleep had fallen on you. Ye are many, they are few." Those profound words in that little couplet is a stark reminder of the change we can bring about when we unite, when we have a common objective and a goal that we aspire to, that we can achieve it. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. It takes that one little step. It takes that one person. When the SFI started in 1970, and I've been fortunate enough to have worked with a number of your leaders, presidents, General Secretary, National General Secretary. In fact, had the opportunity to speak at Vijayawada at the conference, the national conference of the SFI. And it's on that note, first of all, I'd like to pay a tribute to the person who was the president at the time, Sitaram Yechuri, who is sadly with us no more. He passed away only in September. I think when we're remembering the martyrs, and we're remembering people who made a massive contribution to the Student Federation of India, Comrade Yechury's name will always be at that forefront. And I think it's fitting that we remember that. And I would, with your permission, Presidium, ask people to stand. But before you do that, just one other thing. Please also remember, very recently also passed away the Prime Minister of India, former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. And just today we're hearing about a President of USA. Those and all the martyrs all around the world. But much more importantly, for the people of Gaza, I'd like you to stand and remember every single one of those that have gone in this past 15, 18 months. And all those from Lebanon, please stand. Thank you. They were saying, haven't written anything. Students and young people don't often have to write things. They do what is right, what feels right to them, to fight against injustice. You've just heard some of the issues that Student Federation of India UK is tackling here. Just some of them. And the Indian Workers Association, of which I now represent as the national president, is very happy and proud to lend its support to the SFI and all the students here. This includes the international students, whether they're from India or from any part of the world, because they have a common problem, common issues. They're exploited as you cannot begin to imagine, sometimes almost like slave trade. Asked or allowed to work 20 hours. If they do more than that, they're requested to do more than that, then they're exploited. They're told off, they're not paid. And the fees keep going up and up and up. Even during COVID, the fees were still, they had to pay. Still had to pay their fees. They still had to pay for food, they have to pay for lodging. And they're not allowed to work. And then there was a post-study visas. That's been infringed upon. The right to bring somebody in as your partner to support you while you're studying. Blocked. You can't begin to imagine the problems they're having. But also the students here, they're having problems too, even the British students. You don't think just the international students. We have a new government. People had lots of expectations. 14 years later, the Tories have gone, thankfully. So what have they done? Raised the rate of interest payable on the loans by students. So they have to pay more. I know from experience, my grandson's come back with a £70,000 debt. Rate of interest gone up, he'll probably end up having to pay a hell of a lot more now. So these people are forever put into debt. That's not what we waited for after 14 years. So SFI needs to work with the young people here, with the students here, and the IWA will also act as a conduit. And I'm very pleased we have with us people from the YCL, people from KL, Cyprus. Huh? Union Cyprus. And the others we need to bring in and draw in and mobilize. Because together we can change it. We need to change it. Have that hope and have that faith and maintain that spirit, and we will bring about change. Somebody once said to me that, or I read somewhere, I can never remember, that they said, I'm too small to bring about change. I'm far too small. What will I do? How can I possibly change anything? I'm so insignificant. And somebody actually remarked, have you ever tried to go to bed with a mosquito? How small is that? So if a mosquito can change your life that particular night, you can certainly change the system here, change the lives here. Because yours is a just cause. It's the right cause. As I said, you don't need to be writing speeches to pick up a right cause. And the IWA will continue to support as it is today. I'm pleased to see some of our friends are here. We need to raise the funds. We need to raise funds to support. At least that's the very minimum we can do. To render solidarity to the SFI UK. To give them every encouragement. To provide them with the platform By providing them with a platform, we're providing ourselves a platform. Because they give us inspiration. They give us youth. They give us energy. They give us new ideas. And I'm ever so impressed. I've seen them in action. And it's not just myself. It's all these young comrades from the SFI UK. And we had Jishnu in particular at the back. He hasn't got his traditional beret on that makes him look like Che Guevara. Come on, I did it for you. He has been there every other week marching in solidarity for Palestine. And I've done my best to give him company, as indeed many around this room have. We can't sit on the sidelines and watch what's going on there. My dear friend Seema, she actually remarked this morning, have we actually while sleeping with our eyes shut walked into the Third World War? Feels like it, doesn't it? Wherever you look around, we have no money to spend on services. We have no money to give old people winter fuel allowance. We have no money to pay women who have been discriminated against in their pensions, even though we had lovely photos to win an election. We did all that for Facebook. We don't have any money for them. We don't have any money to ensure that students aren't paying exorbitant charges. We don't have any money. We don't have any money for what working people need. But we have money to send bombs to kill people, to destroy cities, to destroy civilizations. We have money for that. So our position in supporting peace, in supporting democracy, social justice, for a secular space. These are all important things that SFI is doing, that we're doing. And if somebody calls that politics, call it what you will. Politics is everywhere. We can't escape it. Some people don't like us coming to these platforms because they say, you speak far too much about politics. We don't. We don't choose that. That's chosen for us. But if we want to survive, we need to work together. And with these words I conclude that I look forward to working together, not just today, not just next year, but years beyond. Because some of you, I hope, will stay even beyond your studies and become part of the workers' organizations. Because all of us are workers, never mind how Starmer sees it. We know who we are. It doesn't matter what level you're working at, you're a worker. Whether you are at this level, that level, they're all workers. Work is work. The dignity of labor is the same. It's just how sometimes in our own minds, how we perceive it. Let's perceive it together, stay united, and long live SFI UK. Thank you.
Thank you, Asif. Thank you for your insights and thank you for the support. Now, I invite Comrade Kanwal, Coordinator of Progressive Writers Association. Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me, comrades. Although I didn't know I'm going to speak, but I'll say a few words. I'm really encouraged. As we had already always talked about, we have coordination between the like-minded bodies, the people who think similarly. So I'm very pleased to see that along with SFI, we have IWA, and we are on behalf of Progressive Rights Association UK, PWA UK, here, and from our association, Comrade Kulwant Dillo is here, and we are expecting Comrade Asim Ali Shah also. He was supposed to come from East London, so he will be getting that, so probably he will be here soon. So we are marking our presence in that regard, and this is very encouraging. Yeah, and of course, the student activism is always been the torchbearer for a positive change in the society throughout the modern history, at least you can say, if you can't find out what happened further in the past. I myself actually have seen inside how the prison looks in Punjab during my student days, and that was during one of our struggles for certain rights for the students. But I don't know, we can say luckily or which way to put it, but at least we were not then governed. We were governed by a government which was not so kind to our ideals and the socialist ideas, but at least they were not fascist as we have today, as we are having today. And you can see we were just fed meals and we were released in a day or two, and we can see how Omar Khalid and others are still languishing in the jails today. So many societies, especially India, is going actually backward. So that's very worrying. And when we see youth like yourself, and so it's actually encouraging that they will not be able to kill our ideas because you are here, whichever the numbers, whichever the form. And I just want to say a few words that Progressive Right Association UK, yeah, of course we have passed our youth, but we have a medium to work through. So we are a collective of artists and writers. So our activism actually is through creative means. We write, and it has actually been happening around throughout the history. You can see, even in the Russian Revolution, how much the Russian literature has played a positive role into that revolution. And throughout, even our own people, we had Munshi Premchand, for example, who was one of the presidents, one of the starters of PWA movement. And then we have other playwrights, writers, theatre people who are actually contributing in the same struggle through their own medium. So we all have to share within our own means, with our own capacities, with our own capabilities. So that's what we are doing here. And I congratulate for which we have got together here to celebrate a special day for SFI, and I congratulate all of you here. Thank you.
A man of small words, so I'll try and say as much as I can. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for the SFI for its international solidarity on the 10th of October, which is Cypriot International Solidarity Day. Most of you might not know, but for the last 50 years, Cyprus has been occupied by Turkey. You attending the 10th of October has shown that not everyone has forgotten, and that the struggle continues until Cyprus is free. And Cypriots and Indians have things in common, such as being former British colonies, being partitioned. And I think it's important that the struggle to liberate our country and to liberate your country from imperialism, capitalism, is very important. And I think to work together is important, and to keep on that struggle. Solidarity is important, and we should continue this. Thank you all. Liberate Cyprus. Long live international solidarity.
Thank you very much, comrades. I believe to get into more detail in that. So I'll be concluding with the word of thanks, specifically addressing. I just want to convey the word of thanks for Comrade Harsev Bains and Comrade Preet Bains from the behalf of IWA. In the name of and also Comrade Seema Christie, Comrade Ruben from YCL, Comrade Kanwal Daliwal, Progressive Writers Association, Comrade Eran Ali, Union of Cypriots, and also I give my sincere word of thanks from Comrade Eddie for giving a wonderful musical and I sincerely thank all of our comrades who have gathered here to be part of this organization since we are doing it in the 55th year. Basically, we are addressing the issues of the students in India. Now it is getting into all over the world. Those who are students, not only particularly from India, or whoever who suffers from different cognitive issues and in all over the world. Thank you very much, comrades. Red salute.
It's about how can we say that we are free when there are lots of people sleeping on the roadsides? How can we say we are free when there are lots of bad things are happening in our country? So my song is about that. जद कलम नहीं है आखदी भारत आजादी माणदा जद कलम नहीं है आखदी भारत आजादी माणदा फिर मैं किदां कह दियां भारत आजादी माणदा एक पुंजे सौंदा सड़क ते एक सौंदा विच गदेलियां एक पुंजे सौंदा सड़क ते एक सौंदा विच गदेलियां निर्दोषी ढके जेलां विच दोषी ने फिरदे मेलियां इंसान कटदा जा रहा ये हर कोई बंदा जानदा फिर मैं किदां कह दियां भारत आजादी माणदा कोई पींदा बियर विस्कियां एक नानू जुड़दी गुल्ली ना कोई पींदा बियर विस्कियां एक नानू जुड़दी गुल्ली ना एक सौंदा महली माड़ियां एक नानू जुड़दी गुल्ली ना बंदे नू बंदा खा रहा ये हर कोई बंदा जानदा फिर मैं किदां कह दियां भारत आजादी माणदा बाहरों आंदे नंगे बाल ने बापू जी कपड़ा चाहिदा बाहरों आंदे नंगे बाल ने बापू जी कपड़ा चाहिदा असी रात कट्टी भुखियां कुछ खाने नू भी चाहिदा पुत्तरा दे सुन के कीर ने दिल बापू दा ही जानदा फिर मैं किदां कह दियां भारत आजादी माणदा इस कलम दी पैंती सुन के जनता इकट्ठी होवेगी इस कलम दी पैंती सुन के जनता इकट्ठी होवेगी सिर वड्डना लोटू टोले दा सरमाएदारी रोवेगी फिर इस कलम दी तार चों नारा निकलू इनकलाब दा फिर मैं किदां कह दियां भारत आजादी माणदा जद कलम नहीं है आखदी भारत आजादी माणदा फिर मैं किदां कह दियां भारत आजादी माणदा फिर मैं किदां कह दियां भारत आजादी माणदा
I am in college. I remember those days, 67, 68, 69, 70, when I was. So I'm so happy you are taking forward So my poem is past, dedicated to past. जद रुत लहू चौंदी है, जद रुत लहू चौंदी है तो पाश जमदा है। हर तट पर प्रतिवार इनकलाबी मनुख पाश ही तो है। ठोस बरतारे दी किसी भी धारणा नूं जो स्थापित करे वो पाश ही तो है। जिहदी कत्ता खड़ोते पानियां च लिशकदा परछावां बने, जिहदी कत्ता खड़ोते पानियां च लिशकदा परछावां बने वो पाश ही तो है। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਗੜੇ ਦੁਗੜੇ ਰਾਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗਤੀਸ਼ੀਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਲੰਘ ਜਾਣ ਦਾ ਸੀਨਾ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਤੇ ਅਤਿਆਚਾਰ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਸੀਨੇ 'ਚ ਰੋਹ ਭੜਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪਾਸ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ। ਜਿਹਦਾ ਜੀਵਨ ਕਾਲਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਾਫਲਾ ਬਣ ਜਾਵੇ ਉਹ ਪਾਸ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਪਾਸ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ। ਯੂ ਆਲ ਆਰ ਪਾਸ਼।
Hello comrades, my name is Afnan Khan. I'm a filmmaker by profession, but I also write poetry sometimes. I have written a Hindi kavita on the partition of India because I believe it's everyone's trauma. So it's in Hindi. बिरा जमा थी चमन में जो असदहे की तरह, बिरा जमा थी चमन में जो असदहे की तरह, लहू में लिपटी अंधेरी वो रात सबकी थी और उजड़ गई थी जो गासिब के हुक्मनामे पर, उजड़ गई थी जो गासिब के हुक्मनामे पर, वो आंसुओं से भरी कायनात सबकी थी और लगाया नक्ब जो कुटिया को एक फकीर की था, वतन के नाम पे ये वारदात सबकी थी। और ये शेर सुनिएगा। थी प्यास खून की और धर्म का बहाना था, थी प्यास खून की और धर्म का बहाना था, खुदा के नाम पर गंदी ये घात सबकी थी। और जो घुट के मर गई मुफलिस के वीरा आंगन में, जो घुट के मर गई मुफलिस के वीरा आंगन में, वो ताबनाक सी रोशन सी बात सबकी थी। और मिटा के रिंद को फिरते थे, रिंद मेरा तखल्लुस है, मिटा के रिंद को फिरते थे फातहे बन के। ये हम जैसे जो कॉमरेड्स होते हैं जो सबके एकता की बात कर रहे होते हैं, वो अक्सर जो है ना काबू आ जाते हैं इन फाशिस्ट लोगों के। तो ये उसकी बात है कि मिटा के रिंद को फिरते थे फातहे बन के, ये समझ देर में आया वो मात सबकी थी। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
But his lover, his own girl, he is expecting his comeback for all the days. This was all about the poem. So now I am switching my language to Malayalam. എനിക്ക് എന്നും പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഒരു കവിതയാണ് സാം മാത്യു എഴുതിയ സഖാവ് എന്ന പേരുള്ള ഈ കവിത. അതിപ്രകാരമാണ്. നാളെ പെയ്ത പുഷ്പങ്ങൾ കൊഴിഞ്ഞിടും പാറയിൽ നിന്നെ തിരഞ്ഞിറങ്ങും, കൊല്ലപ്പരീക്ഷയെത്താറായി സഖാവേ, കൊല്ലം മുഴുക്കെ ജയിലിലാണോ, കൊല്ലപ്പരീക്ഷയെത്താറായി സഖാവേ, കൊല്ലം മുഴുക്കെ ജയിലിലാണോ. എന്റെ ചില്ലയിൽ വെയിലിറങ്ങുമ്പോൾ എന്തുകൊണ്ടോ പൊള്ളിടും ഇപ്പോ, താഴെ നീ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നപ്പോൾ ഞാനറിഞ്ഞില്ല വേനലും വെയിലും, താഴെ നീ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നപ്പോൾ ഞാനറിഞ്ഞില്ല വേനലും വെയിലും. നിന്റെ ചങ്കു പിളർക്കുന്ന മുദ്ര വാക്യമില്ലാത്ത മണ്ണിൽ മടുത്തു ഞാൻ, നിന്റെ ചങ്കു പിളർക്കുന്ന മുദ്ര വാക്യമില്ലാതെ മണ്ണിൽ മടുത്തു ഞാൻ. എത്ര കാലങ്ങളായി ഞാനീടെ, എത്ര പൂക്കാലം എന്നെ തൊടാതെ പോയി, എത്ര കാലങ്ങളായി ഞാനീടെ, എത്ര പൂക്കാലം എന്നെ തൊടാതെ പോയി. നിന്റെ കൈപ്പട നെഞ്ചിൽ പടർന്ന നാൾ എന്റെ വേരിൽ പൊടിഞ്ഞു വസന്തം, നിന്റെ കൈപ്പട നെഞ്ചിൽ പടർന്ന നാൾ എന്റെ വേരിൽ പൊടിഞ്ഞു വസന്തം. നീ തനിച്ചിരിക്കാറുള്ളിടത്തെന്റെ പെയ്ത പുഷ്പങ്ങളാറിക്കിടക്കുന്നു. നീ തനിച്ചിരിക്കാറുള്ളിടത്തെന്റെ പെയ്ത പുഷ്പങ്ങളാറിക്കിടക്കുന്നു. കാരിരുമ്പുകൾക്കുള്ളിൽ കിടന്നു നീ എന്റെ പൂവിൻ ഗന്ധം കുടിക്കണം. കാരിരുമ്പുകൾക്കുള്ളിൽ കിടന്നു നീ എന്റെ പൂവിൻ ഗന്ധം കുടിക്കണം. നിന്റെ ചോരക്കണങ്ങളാണെന്നിൽ പെയ്ത പുഷ്പങ്ങളൊക്കെ തൊടുത്തതും. നിന്റെ ചോരക്കണങ്ങളാണെന്നിൽ പെയ്ത പുഷ്പങ്ങളൊക്കെ തൊടുത്തതും. ആയുധങ്ങളാണല്ലോ സഖാവേ നിന്റെ ചോര ചൂടാൻ കാത്തിരുന്നത്. ആയുധങ്ങളാണല്ലോ സഖാവേ നിന്റെ ചോര ചൂടാൻ കാത്തിരുന്നത്. ഈ കവിതയിലെ ഏറ്റവും മനോഹരമായ ഒരു വരികളിലേക്കാണ് ഞാൻ നിങ്ങളെ കൊണ്ടുപോകുന്നത്. തോരണങ്ങളിൽ സന്ധ്യ ചേക്കേറുന്നു, പൂമരങ്ങൾ പെയ്തു തോരുന്നു. തോരണങ്ങളിൽ സന്ധ്യ ചേക്കേറുന്നു, പൂമരങ്ങൾ പെയ്തു തോരുന്നു. പ്രേമമായിരുന്നെന്നിൽ സഖാവേ പേടിയായിരുന്നെന്നും പറഞ്ഞിടാൻ. പ്രേമമായിരുന്നെന്നിൽ സഖാവേ പേടിയായിരുന്നെന്നും പറഞ്ഞിടാൻ. വെറും ജന്മമുണ്ടെങ്കിലേ പൂമരം നിന്റെ ചങ്കിലെ പെണ്ണായി പിറന്നിടും. വെറും ജന്മമുണ്ടെങ്കിലേ പൂമരം നിന്റെ ചങ്കിലെ പെണ്ണായി പിറന്നിടും. നാളെ ഈ പെയ്ത പുഷ്പങ്ങൾ കൊഴിഞ്ഞിടും പാതയിൽ നിന്നെ തിരഞ്ഞുറങ്ങും. കൊല്ലപ്പരീക്ഷ എത്താറായി സഖാവേ കൊല്ലം മുഴുക്കെ ജയിലിലാണോ. കൊല്ലപ്പരീക്ഷ എത്താറായി സഖാവേ കൊല്ലം മുഴുക്കെ ജയിലിലാണോ.